it is week 7 of our garden tours. So here we are by my comfrey, and last week, you know, I had a few damaged leaves on the bottom and I pulled those off, and look at it, it has just like exploded. So it looks really good. I'm super excited about it. And the biggest watermelon here, the Moon and Stars, it looks a little crazy because I've been trying to work on the vines and get them mulched, plus there's a lot of weeds under them, like this one. So this is doing really well. It has lots of vines. I've just put the hay under the vines because they were really winding around the weeds, and the weeds were winding around them, and it was bad. My hope for this is to grow a really, really big watermelon because VW Family Farm has a competition going on for the largest watermelon. And you can go over to their channel and check out the rules for that. I'll try to remember to link to that video below. And my goal is to try to grow a good watermelon to enter the competition. I mean, I don't know, this is the biggest variety I'm growing. I don't know how big they'll get, but I'm hopeful. So, and on another note on VW Family Farm, they are working on getting to 7,500 subscribers because they have a premier fencing gift certificate to give away when they hit 7,500. So if you guys would jump over there and check them out, that would be awesome. Help them reach their goal. And there's the other Moon and Stars. We got to mulch some more around it, but it's looking pretty good. I should mulch it before it gets crazy like the other one. Mulching before rather than later is probably better. I haven't been out here a whole lot. It's been in the 90s during the day. It's just too hot to work out here. This is a Sugar Baby Bush watermelon, and this is a weed, but it's looking really good. Starting to get, look, baby watermelon. It's so exciting. It will vine a little, but mostly it will bush. More over here. Hi, baby.
Mommy,
oh, okay.
I want to hold it.
No, I don't want to hold it.
I don't want to hold
Jacob found an inchworm. Okay, you take it. Are you done playing with him? Okay, you want him back? Here, you go play with him. Okay, keep him safe. He is gonna love that worm.
Can I put cat on cake him on a cat?
Not one of my garden plants, but over there on a plant you can. All right, lots of weeds like always, and the zinnias, of course. Pollinators doing their thing. Zinnias are looking great like always. Love my zinnias. The cantaloupes are spreading and going, and the pumpkins are growing. And let me see, there's nothing on the Big Mac's pumpkin yet, but we have sugar pie right here. Looks really good. I'm gonna put a piece of wood under it, I think, to help prevent any rot. And then this cushaw that we've had is getting, this vine grew over top of it. Look how big it's getting. It looks great. So I'm gonna cross this one over this way and just let it shoot off that way because it's got to go somewhere. It's kind of running into a wall. So we have a few more cantaloupe growing, and overall I think everything over here are looking really good so far. All right, so a little bit of sad over here. We had a really strong storm come through last night, major winds, and I was watching out my bedroom window and the corn was just laying over, and I was like, no. So some of the corn is still standing. A lot of it, the majority of it, is laying down. It's not broken at the bottom, and it's not completely, well, some of it's completely flat. Most of it's not completely flat. So hopefully we're hoping to see what the sun would do, if it would reach for the sun and stand up, because we've had corn fall over and stand up again. When Derek gets home later, whatever's not standing up, maybe we can kind of work on and help support and get it standing back up, because it's getting to the point where it's almost ready. It's so close. Everything has ears. Every ear is getting pollinated, and it's just almost ready. I mean, it's got to finish, you know, growing its corn kernels, but it's a real bummer to lose it. So hopefully we won't. Hopefully it will be okay. We've had that happen in the past before, and it turned out pretty much okay. So I'm like, it's gonna be all right. Anyway, so that's our sad corn. It's kind of sad, but it's life. It happens, and we just keep on keeping on. All right, our Seminole pumpkins are doing really, really well. I hadn't, they were like this tall the other day, and then we had a lot of rain, and I didn't realize that they were vining. Like this one has a vine already. So I'm gonna just work on training these up the trellis because we need them to go up and over. We don't want them to go that way into the okra. Let me check this one. I kind of pushed up here. It's not as long. I just kind of sent it in the general direction I wanted to go. But it's doing well. Look at the okra I need to come out here and pick. The okra that have been in are getting big, and the baby okras are getting there. They're looking really good. So pretty pleased with my okra. The squash are still just booming. We had some that we missed picking for like 2 days. There's one I meant to come pick and it was like this long. So it'd probably be zucchini bread. It was a golden zucchini. So the boys came through a little bit ago and pulled a lot that were ready to pick. So I think we pretty much picked on these today. Oh, no, there's a giant zucchini. It's not giant, but it will be if we don't pick it. It's getting big. Everything's kind of icky a little bit because of the rain. It's kind of got a little bit of icky to it, but it's okay. And over here, we have lost one plant to a vine borer, and it appears we're losing a second plant to a vine borer. We'll pull it out and throw it to pigs. It'll be fine. Cucumbers are doing really well. We pulled, I think the boys were excited. They came out here and picked, and they pulled like 4. These are slicer cucumbers. They're like this big. They weren't too big, but they were borderline. And pickling so far, we haven't had enough to can. We've had enough to make a couple batches of refrigerator pickles. So we're waiting to just explode with cucumbers coming out our ears, and then we need to be able to can a bunch of them. Kids garden. Oh look, my dill. The dill is kind of, the storm kind of laid it over. It's gonna be all right. Kids garden is wild and out of control. Let me show you the really cool thing about these blue goldberries. These are, they're not really yellow on the bottom, but they turn, where they're exposed to the sun, they actually turn more blue. So they're a lot more blue than the ones in the other garden because they've been laid over, and so most of them are exposed to the sun. Kids' tomatoes are, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. They needed better staking, but yeah, they're doing all right. Potatoes look fantastic. Sadness. Our biggest sunflower was probably about 7 feet tall. Wind got it, snapped it off. Bummer. This one's still there and looking good. Potatoes just look really good. I'm really excited about these potatoes. We've hilled them with yeah, thank you, bud. We've hilled them with this hay. We're gonna mulch them again with the hay. We just didn't have a whole lot more dirt here that was hillable, because dirt is like hard clay. So we did that. And let me talk to you about the sadness of our green bean bed. So if you watched our video, you saw that we didn't have great germination, that we were overtaken with weeds, so we pulled all these beans out. And we planted another ½ pound. And as you can see, well, it rained really hard, so I think that's part of the issue. But we had 1 sort of germination, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have like about 15 total out of all of this with these bush beans that germinated. Not cool. Not happy about that. A little bit bummed. We do have 2 acorn squash that we did find in the weeds. 2 of them did germinate after all from Kylie's, and they're doing okay. And then our this was our trellis, and the wind did the number on it, wind and rain. The rattlesnake beans we put in were new seeds, and we have 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these total out of about 50 seeds. I really think the rain pounded into the ground and washed some of the seeds away, because we had really good germination rate on all of our newer seeds before. So we're gonna let these guys go, do what they're gonna do. But we're just really a little bit disappointed with our beans this year, because that's a staple. We just really need to can a lot of beans, and they're not doing well. So we ordered a pound of beans online. We're going to try a different spot. We're not sure where yet, but we're gonna pick a completely new spot and start over with beans. And hopefully, if they do well, hopefully we can get this planting and possibly 1 more planting in. We don't get frost till mid to late October, so we're hoping to get 2 plantings. We'll see. But overall, this garden, aside from the beans, is looking really good. The corn up here, the glass gem corn fared well. It didn't get knocked over with the storm, so I was really happy about that. And the popcorn is all leaning, but it's still there. And we have new sprouts. We planted more popcorn. I'm not sure, we'll see how it does, because it will be shaded because it's like this tall and this is all like 2 feet tall. So we'll see how it does. But overall, we're really pleased with our corn, aside from the fact that it's laying down over there. But it's doing all right. So let's go check out the tomatoes. These beans are doing well. So even though we're having struggles over there, the pole beans are looking awesome. These are Kentucky Wonder pole beans, and look how tall they're getting. They're coming up the trellis nicely. So I'm really excited about these. The only row that didn't do well was that last row over there. There's still half a dozen or so. They'll be all right. Oh, my poor tomato garden. So the wind just about knocked our trellises over. We did not support them in the centers. We just didn't have any more T-posts to do that. But I think we're gonna have to do something and come back through and support them, because obviously this isn't working. That storm really pushed them over. You can see the weeds have just been outrageous in here, and we have not been on top of it. With this bed especially, there were no peppers in it, so we didn't tend to it like we needed to.
There's a tomato, Mommy.
You can get a tomato. If you see any ripe ones, you can get it. Here's a rotten one. Ew. Eek. And we do have a pepper right here. We have banana peppers on this side, so we need to come through, so when Derek gets home, he'll have to help me get all this cleaned up, because we have 4 banana pepper plants in here, and they are doing okay. We've gotten a little bit off of it. We did some refrigerator pickled peppers, and then we ate them, and they were really good. But we've got, these are doing really well. The fence was leaning the other direction, and I pulled this one up over here. Rough. This one is really rough. Goodness. Oh, that's heavy. Man, all of these have blossom and rot. The rain has just been crazy inconsistent. It's been dry, 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 and then just completely saturated. So we've had the extreme as far as rain goes. We've done really well. We've been harvesting quite a few, and we've got sauce. We've been saucing them as we get them and refrigerating. So we have about a gallon or so in the fridge. We need to go ahead and season it. We just sauced them and cooked them down. I'm going to season it and can it. All right, push this back over. There's some ripening tomatoes in here. This is really out of control. We have a couple of pepper plants. These are paprika peppers here and here. They're finally growing. So hopefully, Zoikies. Yeah, Derek's gonna have to do something about this when he gets home. That's a little bit crazy. Hey, bud. This one's okay. It's not leaning. It doesn't have anywhere near the amount of pressure on it weight-wise as far as tomatoes go. These are the orange Roussellinis, and look at them. They're just like loaded, and they're not real big tomatoes, but they taste amazing. I got these from M.I. Gardner. They're like really flavorful. Love them. They're so good. The tomatillos, whatever you want to call them, they've been doing really well. Kids come out here, and every time they find one off the plant, they grab it and eat it. That's a little scary, buddy. And I'll show you our melons over here. I'm really pleased with. And you can see this bed was out of control, and Kylie came through and cleaned it up yesterday. She worked really hard out here in the blazing heat. She said, "Can I weed this bed?" And I was like, "Yes, you can weed this bed." She did this half. She didn't do that side because there's a lot of flowers. But we have just a bunch of these melons growing. The Minnesota midgets. There's a ton. There's like all in here down at the bottom, and then we're getting baby ones up here on the top. So we're getting really geared up and excited for these. They're going to be delicious. Can't wait. The girls' bed's still looking really good. Doing really well. And let me show you the cayenne peppers. She weeded around them, and they were looking a little puny. This one I thought was dead, but it looks like it's actually coming back. The storm was a little rough on it. See, we're getting some peppers. This one's laying over, but they're still alive and still producing, so we're just gonna let them do their thing for now. This bed is looking good. Our baby tomatoes we put in, you can see they're taking off and growing. I need to get a trellis in here soon. And I have 2 poblano peppers that my friend got me. She she manages a local farmer's market, and she was able to get me 2 poblano peppers. I just met her today, and I'm gonna put them in this bed somewhere because I need to go on the ground. They're looking good. The volunteer pumpkin got a vine borer, and so the one pumpkin is set. We were letting it ripen, and today I was so excited because it was just about ripened, so I was touching it and it snapped off the vine and picked it up, and it has wormholes in it. It's really gross. I saw the worm. Yeah, it's in there. You can see it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. We'll just feed this one to the pigs. There's ants on it too. The pigs will be happy. Natural dewormer for pigs, and they'll eat the worm. So how does that work? They're eating a worm and dewormer. Anyway, pumpkin seeds are a natural dewormer for livestock. So, well, and humans too, I suppose. But anyway, when we have a pumpkin that's not right, you know, gets a worm in it or something, we'll always throw them to the pigs. But we have quite a few tomatoes that are ripe and ready. My one bell pepper that I've been watching is starting to turn orange. It's a horizon bell, so I'm excited about that. And overall, I think aside from the storm, everything looks pretty good. And I'll get Derek out here with me tonight when it gets cooler, and we'll work on fixing things back up because it's a little bit, little haphazard out here. But overall, everything is really looking good.